Okay, to begin today's storyline, we actually pick up with a character known as John Oates. Now, John Oates is going to be very important for this whole storyline, all about the Riddler, but John Oates do play a very big role in this storyline. And you'll see why when we get to the very end of this book. But either way though, we actually pick up with John Oates on the phone with his wife, talking about his daughter and how she does not want to go to her soccer practice. Now, of course, it seems like your usual regular day man who's going through his regular day life. And you're wondering how in the world does John Oates is so important for this storyline? Well, let me tell you, because as he's going down the elevator, thinking that he's about to go home, talk to his daughter, and take her to soccer practice, well, that is the moment the pages goes black, completely black. And the reason why it goes completely black is because the Riddler has shot this man. Now, this moment right here is also going to be very important for the very end of the book. But of course, the Riddler has shot this person, and now everyone is wondering, why in the world did the Riddler shoot this person for? Is there some kind of connection? Did the Riddler know this man? Did John Oates owe the Riddler some kind of money? Why in the world did the Riddler shoot this person in the back of the head? Matter of fact, on top of that, after the Riddler did that, he just stood there waiting for the GCPD to come and pick him up. And of course, he was picked up by the GCPD, and you have James Gordon right now trying to interrogate him to learn more about why in the world did the Riddler just walk up to a regular man who was living his regular life and shoot that man in the back of the head. What in the world led to the Riddler to do that? There had to be a legit good reason on why he did that. But that is the moment you have the Riddler say, I don't want to talk to you. I only want to talk to Batman. He did all of this as a way to have a conversation with Batman. And it's kind of like, okay, that's weird. But at the same time, we have seen that so many times in comics, where the Joker or Two-Face or even Clayface has done something as a way to get the attention of Batman. But of course, for the Riddler, he has a good reason. Well, he thinks he has a good reason, but he wants to sit down and talk to the Batman. That is why he shot that guy and waited for the GCPD to pick him up. Now, we actually begin the process of learning a little bit more about the Riddler. And this is huge because we jump all the way back in time when he was just a teenager. And with him being a teenager, of course, he had to attend some kind of school. And he did. The problem was this academy that he was at, well, his father was the headmaster of this school. And so of course, anytime anything he did, his father would automatically know. And of course, his father wanted his son to be the best. And the problem is right now, the Riddler had apparently missed one simple question in one of his classes because that teacher apparently had a riddle, at the very end of his test, and it threw the Riddler off. He had no idea how to solve that riddle, and of course he missed that question, and so he did not get a 100% on the test. And so his father is very upset. His father begins the process of actually beating him because he failed. Even though he only missed one question, his father beated his son. Now, another reason why, because apparently the Riddler's mother was a prostitute. And so that is why he is pushing his son so hard, so that when people look at him, they don't look at him as the son of a prostitute. Instead, they look at him as a man who's very smart and can do anything if he puts his mind to it. Even though right now we're watching this man literally abuse his son for missing one question on a test. Now, we do jump over to the present day once again, and we pick up with Bruce Wayne. And the reason why, because right now Bruce Wayne is attending the funeral for John Oates because he feels bad about what happened to John Oates. John Oates was a regular day man living his regular day life, and he was shot and killed by the Riddler because apparently the Riddler needs to talk to Batman. An innocent man was killed, and now a wife has no husband. Children have no father because the Riddler had to talk to the Batman. But with that being said, you have Bruce Wayne attending this funeral as a way to be some kind of support for the family of John Oates because he feels bad what the Riddler did. And of course, he plans to go after the Riddler. Now, we do jump back in time once again, and we actually pick up with a young Riddler. Now, with that being said, this young Riddler is in class with the teacher who keeps putting a riddle at the very end of each test. Now, of course, this teacher is going to be very important for this storyline, and the reason why, because this teacher is trying to show the Riddler, the young Riddler, something different about life. That yes, knowledge is very important, but knowledge is not everything. There are other things out there in the world that the Riddler needs to see with his own eyes. There will always be questions out there, and those questions can only be answered by the Riddler. But again, is this teacher trying to show the Riddler at a young age there is more to the world than knowledge? You just have to look at the world differently than you are right now at the moment. And for the Riddler, he really can't do that. Matter of fact, right after that moment, he goes into his dad's office because he knows as soon as he tells his dad that he was unable to get another 100% in the same class 2 times in a row, that his father is going to beat him. And matter of fact, he gets in a position where it seems like his dad's going to walk in and just start to beat him. Because once again, in his dad's eyes, his son is technically a failure if he is not able to get 100% on a test. Now, there is a moment where a gun does appear, and it does seem like just maybe, the Riddler might kill himself because he can't stand the idea of being a failure to his father. Now we do jump back over to the present day where we actually pick up with some random man right now being tortured. Now right off the bat, you would think that just maybe this man is being tortured by the Riddler. But of course he's not, because right now the Riddler is being held by the GCPD. And the question is now, who is torturing this man? But while this man is talking, you begin to learn more about him. That apparently this man was the right-hand man for the Riddler. He knows almost everything about the Riddler. His favorite food, favorite drink, favorite place to get food from, or even like favorite movie, all of that. This man was the Riddler's right-hand man. But the question is though, who is torturing this man, trying to gather information about the Riddler? And of course, it's no other than Batman. Batman wants to know more why the Riddler killed John Oates for. Now, after that, we get the death of a character who most Batman fans may know, but of course he is very obscured. And that character is Burt Weston, aka Film Freak. Film Freak was a D-list supervillain back in the 1980s, but of course with the New 52 and DC Rebirth, we never saw him ever again. And so this is Tom King, the writer of the book, bringing him back just to die, because apparently him and the Riddler had some kind of bet happen, and of course he lost the bet, and so the Riddler told him, if you lose the bet, you have to kill yourself. And so we see Burt Weston actually kill himself. Now this part right here is very minor. What's really more important is what happens after this moment right here. Because remember, the Riddler told James Gordon that he wants to talk to the Batman because Something the Riddler has to tell Batman is very important. We have no idea what that is. All we know, he has to tell Batman something. But of course, this is the moment we see James Gordon actually trying to call out to Batman, saying, hey, listen, the Riddler is doing a lot of crazy things. People are scared to get close to him. Some of his old henchmen are scared to talk to us. We just lost another super villain thanks to the Riddler. We have no leads on why in the world he killed that man at the very beginning of the book. But listen, he wants to talk to you and we need your help to figure out what the Riddler is planning. On top of that, why in the world did he kill that man? So right now, I'm calling out to you, Batman, to come here to Arkham to talk to the Riddler like he wants to do. Come here and talk to him. But of course, Batman is out right now taking care of some other business. Now, we do jump back in the past once again, where we actually see a young Riddler meeting his professor, the one he's having a hard time getting 100% on a test in. And with that being said, we actually do learn the professor name, and his name is Professor Yellen. Now, of course, like I said earlier, Professor Yellen is trying to show the young Riddler that there's more to life than knowledge. But on top of that, the young professor is beginning to realize there is something else wrong with the young Riddler. That basically he has a lot of stress. He has no idea why. Now we know why, because his father is basically beating him every single time that he is not getting 100% on a test. And so with that being said, the young professor is kind of like, listen, man, there's more to life than knowledge. But on top of that, if you're stressed out, you need to find an outlet to release that stress, because life should not be this stressful for you at a young age. This is a professor who actually cares for the young Riddler, trying to show him a better life, a better road to take. But of course, we know that road was not taken. He took a darker road. But back in the present day, there is a 2-page moment I really want to focus on. And that moment is really when you have a guard bringing the Riddler, who's locked up in prison, his daily lunch. But of course, when he tries to put the tray through the door, the Riddler is able to get the man's hand stuck in the little passageway and begins to crush and cut off the fingers of the man, of the security guard. Now you would think this is just a violent moment in the book, but in reality, this is the Riddler just keep pushing the envelope that he wants to talk to Batman, and he will keep doing things until the Batman appears. And so this young security guard just lost most of his fingers, maybe all of them, just because the Riddler really wants to talk to the Batman. But getting over to Batman, we actually do see Batman going to visit the Riddler's father, because in the present day, Riddler's father is still alive. Now, the reason why Batman is here, because when Batman went to go around and talk to the different henchmen of the Riddler, each henchman kept telling Batman the same thing, that the Riddler is going to spend time with a parent. And of course, that means his mother or his father. Now, of course, we know his mother was a prostitute, but it seems like in the past, the young Riddler never knew who his mom was. But of course, he knew his father. And so with that being said, his father is still alive, and it's Batman coming to him wondering, what in the world is going on with the Riddler? Because usually when the Riddler commits a crime, he leaves a clue. When he killed our friend at the very beginning of this video, he left no clue. And so Batman is wondering that maybe, just maybe, the clue he wants to find is here with the Riddler's father. But of course, you have the Riddler father say, we haven't talked in almost 30 years, meaning that whatever's going on with the Riddler right now, it can't be because of me. So I have no idea who he's talking about. And that is when you have Batman say, okay, if the Riddler said he's spending time with an elderly parent, that means his mother. So you have Batman ask him, where is your ex-wife? Where is the Riddler's mother? Where can I find her? But then we pick up with the young Riddler once again, who walks into his dad's office lying to his father about a fire happening the next room over. And with that fire happening, and with his father being the headmaster of this academy, he needs to go deal with that fire. And so you have the Riddler's father run out of his office to go over to that other room. Now, of course, with his father panicking so much, he left his keys behind. And these keys are very important because they unlock a special room that holds every teacher at this school's test and answer key to that test. And so basically, it is the Riddler at a young age doing this as a way to cheat on the next test so that he can finally get a 100% on the test to please his father. He's trying to do everything he can to please his father. But getting back into the present day, we get into one of the most messed up moments in this book, because you do have the Riddler being transported into a more secure cell so that he cannot hurt anyone else, except with all the guards around him, thinking that with all the guns they have, there is no way the Riddler can kill them. But of course, that is the moment you have the Riddler begin to tell every single guard that he knows almost every single person in their lives, their daughters, their sons, their wives, meaning that he's basically telling these guards, if you don't let me go, or if you don't kill each other, somebody is going to kill your family. And even if you lock me up in this more tighter cell, I will break free once again. And when I break free once again, well, of course, I will go after every single one of y'all's families, killing your daughters, killing your sons, killing your mothers, whoever. I will kill them all. And with these guards all scared and being trigger happy, they end up shooting themselves, killing every single one of them except the Riddler and James Gordon. And James Gordon is so scared out of his mind because right now these guards actually believe the Riddler may know their family members. I mean, he was telling them different names of their family members, so he did know. But either way, James Gordon is so scared and he's frozen in fear. He's wondering what in the world can he do to the Riddler. But getting back over to Batman, we actually pick up with Batman right now looking for the mother of the Riddler. Now, of course, while he's doing that, we're getting a story about a lady who was killed. And we do learn that this lady was a prostitute. And with her being a prostitute, this neighbor said over the years, he got to know the lady very well. Not in that kind of prostitute way, more that he knew what she was. He knew that she was a prostitute, she had a lot of customers, but he respected her because she was a strong, independent woman in her own way. But with that being said, though, he said he heard what happened. Someone came over and began to ask this lady a bunch of questions. And of course, she was unable to answer these questions fast enough for the man who basically killed her. Now, we already know right off the bat, it is the Riddler. That means the person who died was the mother of the Riddler. He found his mother and he killed her. But of course, we have no idea why he did that for. And so you're kind of like, okay, that's not good. And so right now, Batman is out of leads. Because remember, to Batman, anytime the Riddler does something, he leaves a clue. And right now, there was no clue left behind. It's the Batman going to talk to the parents of the Riddler because all the henchmen said the Riddler told us he was going to spend time with one of his parents. And that is it. And of course, we now know it was his mother because now she is dead. But after that, you do have Batman meet up with James Gordon. Now, of course, when Batman does that, it's James Gordon freaking out because he watched all of those security guards kill themselves, just shoot themselves or shoot each other because what the Riddler said, that he was going to go after their families, their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, sisters, daughters, sons, wives, whatever. These guards were so scared they shot themselves. And so right now, James Gordon is so scared because usually when it comes to the Riddler, to a lot of fans out there, yes, he's one of those most notable Batman Rogue members. But for me and probably a lot of Batman fans out there, He's a low tier B-list villain. And right now, this is probably the most scariest thing that he has done in Gotham. And so right now it's James Gordon saying, listen, he did all of this just to talk to you. So while you're out there trying to figure out what his big master plan is, I've been trying to call you to tell you he wants to talk to you. So please just go to Arkham and talk to the Riddler. But then we jump back over to the young Riddler once again, and we pick up with the young Riddler right now, meeting up with that professor that is trying to change his life for the betterment. Now, of course, this is the biggest moment of the book. Well, really, the biggest moment for everything taking place in the past that ties into the One More Day title. The reason why I say that is because this is the moment you have the professor really trying to tell the Riddler that he cares for him. He wants him to have a better view of life, to go out there and enjoy life. But of course, he must also teach the Riddler a very valuable lesson. And the reason why is because you have the professor tell young Riddler that he knows the young Riddler had cheated on the last test. Because the riddle at the very end of that new test, no way the Riddler should have known the answer. But of course, he knew the answer because he stole the answer key to get a perfect score on that test. And so with that being said, it's a professor telling the Riddler, listen, I care for you, kid. I want you to have a better life. I want you to realize there's more to life out there. But unfortunately, you cheated. And I must report this to your father. Now, we all know what that means. If his father finds out, his father is going to beat him again, especially more than usual because he cheated on the test this time. And so that's even a bigger failure. And so right there, the young Riddler just snaps. And when he snaps, he kicks the young professor right in the face. He falls on the ground of the basketball court face first. And so now he has a head injury. And you have the young Riddler just grab this young professor's face and smashes over and over and over again in the concrete, killing the professor. All because the professor kept challenging him, making him feel like he's an idiot. But on top of that, if that professor had went to his father, the Riddler's father was going to beat him again. But we finally get to the point of the story where you have Batman meeting up with the Riddler, just like the Riddler wanted Batman to do. And this is the moment we all come to find out the Riddler knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne. He just knows. He knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne. He knows Nightwing is Dick Grayson. Red Hood, Jason Todd, Red Robin, Tim Drake, Robin, Damian Wayne, the Batgirl, Stephanie Brown as well, and Cassandra Cain. He knows about them all. He said he's been knowing because the point of this book to show how smart the Riddler is. Except the problem is, right now, he had one bad day, 2 bad days really. That one bad day was when the professor basically said, I'm going to tell your father that you were cheating. And that led to him becoming the Riddler. But of course, when the Riddler found his mother, the mother who was a prostitute, the mother that his father did not want his son to have any connection to, when he found her and wondering why in the world she was not around, why in the world did she do the thing she did, he snapped again. And now we have a more darker Riddler. But either way, you have the Riddler saying, I been know who you were. That's how smart I am. Like, we've been doing this for years, but over the years, it was always the same thing over and over again. Now, you may not believe me that I know you're Bruce Wayne, but I have walked through Wayne Manor while you guys were asleep. Yes, you have security, but your security is not that great as you think it is. But I watch all your boys sleep. I watch while the girls sleep. I watch you as you sleep. I have gone to all the different safes you have in your mansion. The one that holds your mom's pearls the night she died. The safe that holds all the money just in case of emergency. Like, I basically been in your house all over the place. I know you're Batman. But that is not the reason why I called you here for. The reason why I called you here for, Batman, is to tell you the game is going to change. The game between you and I is going to be different. Every time you come after me, every time you touch me, I will kill a random person, because we know you're not going to kill me either way. But if you touch me, I'll kill someone. If you try to stop me, I'll kill someone. And this is the Riddler basically putting pressure on Batman, because he knows he can do that. Batman won't kill. And that is why he killed Mr. Oates at the very beginning of the book. Yes, to talk to Batman, but to be an example, saying you fought me last week or whenever, and I killed that man because of that. But now you touch me, I will kill someone random. Or I could kill someone you care for. Nightwing, Red Robin, Red Hood, Robin, or even Batgirl, or the Batgirls at this point now. But either way, I will kill them too, if you come after me. And Batman is so scared to do anything that he actually let the Riddler leave. Now, there is a moment we get this page where it basically explains to us that the Riddler is a free man. The police and Batman are afraid to do anything to the Riddler at all, because the Riddler had basically put Batman in his place. The police are scared because they heard what happened to those guards in the prison who were trying to transport the Riddler into a tighter cell. But either way, the whole city of Gotham is scared of the Riddler. And matter of fact, this is Tom King telling us, over the years in Batman comics, the Riddler could never do much in comics. Yes, he was a cool gimmick villain, but over the years, he never had a story where he was the main bad guy put up in front and did something crazy and scary. But right now, he's doing that. He's finally having his moment. He's no longer that B-list villain. It's him becoming a A-list villain in Gotham. And the people is even saying that themselves. Now, we do skip a couple pages because honestly, they're not very important. It's just really Batman going to visit Miss Oates, the wife of the man who died at the very beginning of this book. And basically, she inspires him to go out there and stop the Riddler, to get revenge on the Riddler for basically killing her husband. But to close off this book, we pick up with the Riddler right now staying in a hotel because he feels like he is untouchable. The police are scared to touch him. Batman is now scared to touch him. And so he has been chilling in the hotel room, just having a good old time. Now, James Gordon actually tried to do something to the Riddler, but it failed. And when he tried to do something to the Riddler somehow was able to poison the cats of Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, just to show, like he said, if you come near me, try to touch me, stop me, whatever, I will do something to someone else close to you or a random person. But this is the moment you have Batman basically say, the Riddler thought he knew me. Yes, he was smarter than me. He is smarter than me in some areas. But of course, he got overconfident. Of course, he thinks he knows that no one is able to touch him. No one is going to do anything to him. But the Riddler truly forgot who I was. That I am the Batman. And I will not stand down for this. And so at the very end of the book, you do have the Batman appearing right behind the Riddler. And of course, the Riddler is scared because he thought he actually put Batman in his place, only to find out Batman was never scared. And this is where we are going in today's comic book video. So please hit the like button down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoy today's comic book video. Later, guys.